My son, pay close attention right now because this is not just an ordinary moment, and this message has not reached you by chance. I am weary of trying to reach you in ways you keep ignoring. I am tired of speaking softly through delays, through uneasy thoughts, and through the quiet signs I placed within you while you kept convincing yourself you would handle things later. So listen carefully this time. Something very important is about to take place around you today, and you need to hear this before it passes you by. This is serious. Give me these 30 minutes, because what I am placing before you is not small, it is not random, and it carries the power to shift the path of your life if you accept it with action. Do not walk away from these words or treat them like background noise. Stay here with me, my son, because a major change is getting closer to you. I speak with authority, but also with care. I am not trying to scare you without purpose. I speak because this moment is sensitive. Everything around you is starting to shift, and something is coming that will demand your focus whether you feel ready or not. If you leave too soon, you may miss the guidance meant to prepare you. If you turn away now, you might mistake something meant for your growth as a problem or trouble. And I do not want you to walk into this without awareness. I want you alert, steady, and strong in your spirit, my son. There have been nights when you felt uneasy and could not explain why. There have been times when your heart felt heavy for no clear reason, moments when you sensed that your life could not keep going the same way. You tried to ignore those feelings and delayed facing them. You told yourself there would be a better time tomorrow. But tomorrow kept moving forward. Your delay kept increasing, and what you avoided never went away. And only waited. Now I tell you that the waiting time is ending. What is coming will shake the part of you that has grown too comfortable in delay. What is coming will reach the place where you have been trying to manage life without fully listening. And yes, it may feel sudden, strong, and even overwhelming, and it may interrupt the plans you had set for yourself. But listen carefully. I am still present in all of this. My hand will remain over you, and my voice will keep guiding you through every step. That is why I called you here first, and that is why I am speaking before the sign shows itself. I do not want you to react with fear or call something bad just because it feels unexpected. You need to understand that not every shake comes to break you. Some shakes are meant to wake you. Some interruptions are sent to pull you away from a path you keep walking while pretending not to see where it leads. Some powerful moments are the very ones that stop you from missing the door I prepared for you, my son. Time is more important than you think right now. The next moments are not normal. There is a reason I am placing this message in your spirit with urgency. There is a reason I am not letting this feel soft or distant. I have spoken gently before. I have given you small signs and waited while you looked for something louder. But now I am speaking in a way that reaches deeper. This is not the time to listen halfway. This is not the time to stay asleep in your spirit or to keep saying you will think about it later. No, my son, you must focus now and listen with more than your ears. You must listen with your spirit because something connected to your next season is very close. And the enemy will want you distracted, careless, numb, or absent when it comes. Do not give in to that distraction. Stay here, stay aware, and remain under this message. In the next few minutes I will show you why I had to speak more strongly, why what is coming had to come this way, and what you must do when the sign appears in front of you. But before we go further, I want you to accept in your spirit that you will not run from this warning. If you feel that I am speaking to you right now, say amen and declare with belief, I am listening. Hear me clearly. I have not been silent, and I have not walked away from you. I have been speaking all along, but you kept waiting for a louder voice while ignoring the quiet pressure I placed in your spirit. I spoke to you in the pauses you could not explain and in the restless feelings that followed you at night. I spoke to you in moments when your heart told you something was not right anymore. Even when your mind tried to push it away, I sent warnings through delay, through discomfort, through repeated letdowns, and through doors that would not open no matter how hard you tried. I spoke through that deep feeling inside you that something in your life needed to change, but you kept calling it stress, tiredness, or bad timing. You kept telling yourself that later would be the right time to face it, to pray, to deal with it, and to act. But while you delayed, the weight inside you kept growing. I saw every time you felt a stop in your heart and ignored it. I saw every time you felt me calling your attention and you chose to wait. I saw how you tried to settle into habits that were slowly taking away your peace because facing the truth felt harder than living with the pressure. But listen now. That is why I had to speak louder. That is why this message comes with urgency instead of softness. That is why I am not covering this warning with comfort. I've already tried the gentle way. I already tried the quiet push, the soft direction, and the whisper in the hidden place. Still, you kept asking for one more sign, one more confirmation, or one more day, while I was already calling you to act on what you had been shown. There were nights when you went to sleep tired, but that tiredness was not just from your body, it was from carrying things you were never meant to carry for so long. There were times when you felt pulled in different directions, and deep inside you knew it was because you were stuck between doing what is right and avoiding it. You have been trying to move forward while still holding on to old habits, old attachments, and old fears. And that has made your spirit feel heavy. You have been trying to accept things I have been asking you to move away from, and now the pressure inside you has become too strong to ignore. This is not me pushing you away. This is me refusing to let you stay stuck in a place that is slowly weakening you. I know the moments where you felt unsure, and I know the quiet talks you had within yourself that no one else could hear. I know how many times you wondered if it was truly my voice. Even when something inside you already knew the truth, you were not left alone. You were being warned. You were not forgotten. You were being prepared. You were not being punished with silence. You were being invited to listen more carefully. And now that invitation has become a clear call. The soft whisper has now become a strong voice. I am calling you out of delay and into full attention, because what is coming cannot be received with half focus. The next thing that touches your life will require clear understanding. And clear understanding only comes to the one who is willing to be still and listen. So do not close your heart now, and do not think this message is for someone else. These words are reaching you exactly where you have been avoiding truth. I am speaking louder because I care too much to let you drift further away. I am speaking with strength because this moment is more serious than you realize. And before this strong moment reaches you, I need you to understand one thing clearly. What is coming is not a sign that I left you. It is a sign that I am still reaching for you. What is about to touch your life is serious. Do not mistake the weight of this moment for a small feeling that will pass by morning. No, listen closely. This goes deeper than a mood, deeper than passing fear, and deeper than the thoughts you have been trying to ignore. Something is moving toward you with force, and when it arrives, it will press on the very place where you have been the most numb, the most unsure, and the most unwilling to face the truth. I am warning you now because if I stayed silent before it happens, you might think it is lost when it is actually being revealed. You might call it chaos when it is correction, and you might think it is destruction when it is really breaking the chain that has been holding your future back. The moment I spoke about is not light, not simple, and not a small interruption in your day. It has the power to stop you, shake your routine, break the false comfort you have been living in, and turn your focus to what truly matters before more is lost through delay. You have been too close to things that have been draining your spirit, and because you got used to that pressure, you started calling survival peace. You began accepting what was slowly weakening you. You smiled through pain and treated it as normal when it should have troubled you. That is why this next moment must feel strong. That is why it must break through all the noise around you. That is why it will not come gently. A soft push would not reach you anymore. A quiet voice would not break through what has been building around your heart. That is why this moment will be impossible to ignore. It may come through a sudden talk, a truth being revealed, a change in someone's actions, an unexpected message, a break in your plans, or a door that opens and closes so quickly that you realize you are in the middle of an important turning point. And when it happens, your first reaction may be fear. You may want to step back, shut down, think the worst, or feel lost before understanding what is really happening. But do not act too quickly in that fear, because what feels heavy at first may actually be the mercy that stops you from going further in the wrong direction. I need you to take this seriously. If you keep calling delay wisdom, if you keep calling avoidance peace, and if you keep choosing what is familiar instead of what is right, you will remain standing at the edge of the life meant for you without ever stepping into it. I want to be real with you for a second. This channel was recently demonetized, which has put a lot of pressure on our ability to keep things moving. To those who have already stepped up on Ko-Fi, thank you. You are the reason we're still here. If you're in a position to help, even a small contribution via the link in the description or the pinned comment makes a world of difference. Your support allows me to stay focused on creating for you. And now, let's get back to today's content. And I will not allow you to stay in that place without giving you a final and clear warning. That is why everything around you has been feeling heavy. That is why your spirit has been uneasy. That is why the things that once comforted you no longer bring peace. That is why the distractions that used to pull your attention away can no longer quiet what you feel inside. I am now removing the space between your excuses and my truth. I am bringing you to a point where the mask falls, where the confusion lifts, and where what you kept delaying stands right in front of you and asks for an answer. Not later, not when it feels easier, not when others agree with you. Now, the seriousness of this moment is not just about what is happening around you, but about what it is showing inside you. It is revealing what you are afraid to lose, what you have placed too much value on, what you have refused to let go of, what you tried to handle on your own, and what you still hope will stay the same while asking me for change. But real change does not come without disruption. Freedom does not come without facing truth. Getting back on the right path does not happen without something being shaken. And even if this feels strong, even if tears come, even if your heart beats fast when the sign appears, and even if part of you feels afraid at how sudden it is, remember this clearly. I am not shaming you. I am saving you. I am not breaking your future. I am removing what is blocking it. I am not punishing your weakness. I am answering the deep cry you made when no one else heard you, the cry for change, for truth, for movement, for freedom, and for a breakthrough that would finally end the cycle you were too tired to even explain. This is that moment. This is that interruption. This is the breaking point where what was hidden starts to come out and what was stuck begins to move. So do not walk away now. Do not ignore this warning in your spirit. Stay here. Remain aware. Keep your heart steady, because what comes next will test if you can recognize my hand even when it does not come in a way that feels comfortable. And if you still feel that these words are reaching deep inside you, then say, Lord, open my eyes, and declare with belief, I trust your timing. There is something you have been avoiding, and the longer you act like it is not there, the heavier it becomes inside you. You already know the area I am pointing to. You have tried to push it away, hide it under your daily routine, cover it with silence, and make it seem smaller with excuses. But it has not gone away because it is connected to the very breakthrough you keep asking for. You want change, but you have been afraid of the truth that real change requires. You want freedom, but you hesitate when freedom asks for honesty. You want peace, but you have been trying to live peacefully with what is actually taking your peace away. Listen closely, because this is where many people miss their moment. They pray for change, but when the time comes to face what is wrong beneath the surface, they choose to delay. They ask for a new beginning but refuse to let go of the past. They ask for clarity, but when truth starts to show, they step back because it feels heavy. I will not allow you to stay in that place any longer. What you keep delaying is not small and not harmless. It will not fix itself by being ignored. Every day you delay what has already been shown to you, you make the cycle stronger, the same cycle that has been draining your strength, confusing your thoughts, and weakening your confidence. Some of you have been avoiding a decision you already know you must make. Some of you are holding on to a relationship that has already become a burden. Some of you refuse to accept that a phase of your life has ended because you fear the empty space before the next step. Some of you have been running away from discipline, from change, from doing what is right, or from having the courage your next step needs. But listen now. What you avoid today will still be there tomorrow until you face it honestly. This delay has cost you more than you understand. It has taken your peace, your progress, your clarity, and your rest. It has kept you going in circles while you called it waiting, when in truth you were waiting for your fear to feel safe. Fear will never make doing the right thing feel easy. Truth will not always come in a comfortable way. There are times when I must bring you to a point where what you have been running from can no longer hide behind your reasons. That is what this hour is doing. I am bringing your excuses into the light. I am bringing your private restlessness into the open place where you must finally acknowledge it. Not to shame you, but to free you. Not to condemn you, but to end the war within you. You have carried tension in your body because your spirit has known what your mind keeps resisting. You have felt tired in places that sleep could not fix because the burden was never only physical. It was the tension of living too close to disobedience, too close to compromise, and too close to something I have been asking you to release. And now the pressure is increasing because the moment of decision is near. That is why I told you the warning is urgent. That is why I told you not to leave, because what is coming will push the hidden matter to the surface, and when it does, you must not fall back into denial. You must not call it bad luck. You must not numb yourself and pretend it means nothing. It means something. It means I am confronting the place that has been blocking your progress for long enough. It means I am standing between you and another season of spiritual hesitation. It means I love you enough to stop you at the exact point where your compromise would have cost you more. So when the sign appears, when the discomfort rises, when the truth draws close enough that you can no longer maintain the distance, do not harden your heart. Breathe. Be still. Let the exposure do its work. Let the discomfort uncover what must be named. Let the conviction guide you, not crush you. Because on the other side of this confrontation is movement, and on the other side of movement is the peace you have been trying to reach for so long. What is happening now is not a random disturbance, and it is not a meaningless interruption that entered your life without permission. This is a divine interruption, and you must understand the seriousness of that phrase. Before moving further, I am interrupting what had been interrupting you. I am breaking into the cycle that has been breaking your focus, draining your peace, delaying your obedience, and weakening your ability to hear me clearly. You have called some things normal for too long. You have adapted to burdens I never told you to carry. You have learned to function within a spiritual pressure that should have brought you to a deeper surrender, but instead of confronting it, you adjusted to it. But I tell you now that the adjustment is ending. This interruption is holy. This interruption is necessary. This interruption is the line between the season that was wearing you down and the season I am trying to bring you into. That is why it feels strong. That is why it feels pressing. That is why this message will not let your spirit rest in casual listening. Only a few minutes remain in this warning, and you need to stay with me. Do not walk away now. Do not tell yourself you will come back later. Do not let distractions steal what heaven is placing before you in this very moment. Only 6 to 7 minutes remain in this warning window. And there are some of you listening to me right now who are closer to a turning point than you think. This may be the last time I call you this clearly before the sign appears before your face. This may be the final warning before what is hidden is exposed, before what is delayed is forced into movement, and before what has been silently draining you is finally confronted in the light. So listen with your full attention, because I am not only speaking to comfort you now, I am speaking to position you. I am speaking to strengthen your spirit. I am speaking to make sure that when the interruption comes, you do not misread it or run from the very thing that came to free you. Some interruptions come from confusion, and there are interruptions that come from it. Confusion scatters you, but my interruption gathers you. Confusion pushes you into panic, but my interruption pushes you into clarity. Confusion leaves you empty, but my interruption cuts what is false so that what is true can finally breathe again. Some things in your life have survived only because you refused to look at them directly. Some patterns have continued only because you kept saying that is just how things are. Some losses kept repeating because you never stopped long enough to ask why. The same wound, the same pressure, the same fear, and the same exhaustion kept returning in a different form. But now I am interrupting the very pattern. I am entering the place where you kept making peace with less than what I called you to have. I am disturbing what has been secretly draining you. I am unsettling what hath been robbing your clarity while pretending to offer you comfort. Do not be afraid if something changes suddenly. Do not be afraid if someone reveals their true nature. Do not be afraid if a plan changes, if a conversation takes an unexpected turn, if a door closes faster than you expected, or if a truth emerges that you can no longer suppress. You are not watching your life fall apart without purpose. You are watching me place my hand in a place you were too exhausted or too afraid to touch. I know it feels intense. I know it feels as if the ground beneath your emotions is shifting. I know part of you wants to run back to what is familiar, even if the familiar has been hurting you. But the familiar is not always faithful. What you are used to is not always what I ordained to stay. Some of you are grieving what I am trying to remove. Some of you are protecting what has already been resisting your healing. Some of you are trying to rescue what I am exposing, and that is why I had to interrupt with more force. I will not allow your attachment to the old season to sabotage the new one. I will not allow your fear of discomfort to keep governing your choices. I will not allow the lie of later to keep robbing you. The interruption is here because mercy has reached the point of confrontation. Love has reached the point of action. The warning has reached the point of movement. If you are still listening, do not let this word pass through you without a response. Comment, I will not delay. Declare with faith, I receive this warning and stay with me, because what I will speak next will show you what cannot go with you into the season that is now opening. There are things you cannot carry to where I am taking you, and if you try to drag them into your next season, they will turn your blessing into a burden and your open door into another place of confusion. That is why I speak to you now about release. Not everything that is attached to you has been assigned to you. Not everything familiar is faithful. Not everything you have tolerated is meant to remain. Part of what you have been holding on to has become so normal to you that you no longer see how much it has been slowing your healing, blocking your clear understanding, draining your spirit, and keeping your hands too full to receive what I have prepared for you. I am not just calling you to move forward. I am calling you to become lighter. I am not just opening a new chapter. I am preparing you for it by clearing what should not remain. There is a fear that must be let go, because fear hath been teaching you to expect pain before promise, loss before healing, and disappointment before fulfillment. There is a guilt that must be released, because it has kept you tied to an old version of yourself that I have already moved beyond. There is a grief that must be placed in my hands, not because your pain was not real, but because you were never meant to build your life around what hurt you. Some attachments must be broken, because some connections have kept pulling you back into cycles I have been trying to bring you out of. Some thoughts must be removed, because you have allowed voices that speak louder about your limits than about my power. And there is a kind of control you must release, because you keep trying to manage what can only change through trust. Listen carefully. Letting go is not loss when I am the one asking for it. Letting go is preparation. Letting go is protection. It is making space so that what is right no longer has to fight with what is heavy. Some of you keep asking why you do not feel peace, but peace cannot stay where everything is still crowded with fear, hidden anger, old ties, and quiet agreements with hopelessness. Some of you keep asking for clarity, but clarity will not remain where wrong choices are still being defended. Some of you keep asking me to act while still holding on to the very things I have told you to release. That is why this part of your path feels both special and painful at the same time. I am not only removing things from your life, I am pulling out what has grown too deep inside your thinking. I am dealing with the habits, the emotional ties, the inner promises, and the quiet excuses that have lived inside you for too long. And yes, this may feel uncomfortable because letting go always touches the place where false comfort once lived. You may feel the pain of release. You may feel the sting of realizing how long you held on to what was hurting you. You may feel exposed when you admit that part of what you called safety was actually holding you captive. But do not confuse the pain of letting go with harm. I am not breaking you. I am freeing you. I am not emptying you without reason. I am creating space. The next part of your life cannot be built on old fear, old compromise, old dependence, and old confusion. You cannot carry yesterday's chains into tomorrow's purpose. You cannot keep feeding what is fighting your peace and then wonder why your spirit feels tired. You cannot keep reopening what I have been closing and then question why your understanding feels weak. This is the moment to let it go. Let go of the need for everyone to understand you. Let go of your attachment to what feels familiar. Let go of the story that says you will never change. Let go of the quiet agreement you made with discouragement. Let go of the shame that keeps telling you it is too late, that you are too broken, that you are too inconsistent, or that you have gone too far. Those thoughts are not from me. I am calling you into a cleaner, clearer, and freer place. And if your hands shake as you release what has been wrapped around your heart for so long, let them shake in my presence, but do not take it back. What I remove in this season is not to harm you. It is to protect the life I am bringing toward you. So open your hands, open your heart. Stop holding on to what I have already shown you must leave, because what remains after this surrender will be more real, more strong, and able to carry the future that is coming close to you. And when the sign appears, do not misunderstand it just because it does not come in a gentle way. Many have missed my work because they only looked for what felt easy, soft, and familiar to accept. But hear this clearly, not every sign from me will feel gentle when it first reaches your life. Some signs come as exposure, some come as interruption, and some come as a shake in the very place where you built a false sense of peace. Some may appear through a sudden ending, a hard truth, a silence you did not expect, a change in someone's behavior, or a door that shuts so quickly that your human side wants to call it rejection before your spirit understands it is protection. Listen closely, because this is more important than you realize right now. If you judge the sign too fast, you may run away from the very answer you once prayed for. If you look at everything through fear, then even my help can feel uncomfortable to your desire for ease. If you keep expecting my guidance to always feel pleasant, you will struggle to recognize me in the moments when I am actually protecting you from what you could not fully see. That is why I am warning you before it happens. The sign that is coming may not please your emotions. It will challenge them. It may show how attached you became to what was draining you. It may reveal how much you wanted an old door to stay open, even though it was leading you into confusion. It may show you that what you called delay was actually protection, and what you called stability was only staying stuck in a place that felt familiar. Do not panic when the sign appears. Do not rush to call it bad. Do not run back to what feels familiar just because the unknown feels intense. What is familiar is not always safe. What is familiar is not always right. What is familiar is not always where my presence is. Some of you listening right now will feel tempted to undo what I am doing the moment it becomes uncomfortable. You may want to reopen the door I closed. You may want to chase the person I removed. You may want to ignore the truth I brought to light. You may try to calm yourself by returning to the same pattern that hurt you, simply because it is known to you. But I tell you now, do not go back. Do not run away from the sign. Do not call your old chains peace just because you have gotten used to them. Stay still long enough to understand. Notice what keeps repeating. Notice what is being revealed. Notice where your spirit feels a deep push to change instead of just fear. Notice what keeps coming up in your prayers even when you try to ignore it. I am clearer than you think, but fear has trained you to doubt what your spirit already knows. So slow down. Breathe before you react. Pray before you speak. Be still before you take your next step. The sign will carry a weight that your spirit will recognize. Even if your mind tries to fight it, there will be a deep knowing inside you that this is not random, that this is not just another passing feeling, that this is the exact moment where you are being asked to choose truth over denial. And understand this too, not everyone around you will understand what is happening in your life. Some will tell you to ignore it. Some will tell you to keep things as they are. Some will say you are making it too big. Many will speak from their own fear, not from truth. That is why you cannot depend on others to confirm this moment. This part is personal. This part is important. This part requires you to trust my voice more than the opinions of others who do not carry what you carry. There are times when choosing wisely will cost you comfort, but it will protect your future. There are times when seeing clearly will force you to accept what you once ignored. There are times when growing means you stop asking if something feels good and start asking if it is true, if it is right, if it is clean, and if it still holds peace even under pressure. If you are listening, then listen fully. The sign is not your enemy. Ignoring it is the real danger. So when it comes, do not run, do not shut down. Do not go back to old habits. Stay still and let me show you what this moment truly means.